Wes, hi, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Apologies to anyone that's watching on YouTube. Um, Unfortunately, when I started the YouTube stream, I didn't actually press the button to say start. So, unfortunately, we weren't having a stream to YouTube. So we are now broadcasting live on YouTube as well. We are broadcasting on Mixer, on Woodscorp channel, and we are also broadcasting on Twitter on F1 Tonight. So anyone that's watching, if you know any friends, anyone that might be interested, give them a shout. We're going to be around for at least the next couple of hours or so. So get them in. Yeah, that'd be great. So Wes, have you got the chat open on your window? Excellent. So I haven't got the chat because obviously I'm broadcasting. So if you could respond to the chat, that'd be fantastic. So anyone that wants to have a quick chat or make a comment, please do so. I will also point out, and it's important to point this out, obviously I am speaking English, Wes is speaking English as well, but F1 Tonight are predominantly a Dutch group of drivers, and Wes himself is a Dutchman. So I'm hoping that he can help me out with some translations when required. But on the plus side, if you want to send the chat in Dutch, then you've got someone to reply to it. You don't have to send it in English. But if you send it in English, I'm sure he's more than capable of responding as well. Excellent. I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. There's nothing better than hearing somebody speak their native tongue. That's brilliant. Fantastic. That's really good. That's really good. So, just for everyone to catch up that's on YouTube, we are in Q1. So from Q1 we have 19 drivers. Those will be go down to 15 drivers, which will go into Q2. Those 15 drivers will go down to 10 drivers in Q3, and those 10 drivers then, whatever position they come in, will decide obviously grid positions and all the other following drivers the same. So it's all time based. As you can see, we are in wet weather conditions, so the drivers are running with wet weather tyres. Interestingly, it seems that we have Portmer in at this moment in time in the pits, and he's actually going with intermediates. Okay, so that's interesting. Any drivers out on the track as yet? So he's still in the pits. Let's get out with one of the drivers. We got Savage, Gamble. Let's get in with our second place driver at the moment, Buddha. There we are. Let's watch him going round. As you can see at this moment in time, those conditions are not very pleasant. The other thing you've got to bear in mind is obviously you're going to get a lot of spray coming up from the cars in front. So as in the real world, yep, as in the real world F1, that causes issues here, and we just see Buddha now coming into the pits. He's not going to be very happy with that position. Well, let's watch this, because ultimately at the end of the day, he's got 2 minutes 21. He's got a time of 1:54.7. Second place in the championship. But at this moment in time, he's just hanging on for Q2, because it'll only be the top 15 drivers that go into Q2. I think he has actually pitted. I don't know. I mean, because he's got Peter, who's just behind him, on a 1:55.3. Let's go with Peter, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's Peter that's going to be the one that's going to be the competition for Buddha, and all he needs to do is put in a 1:54.7 or sub 1:54.7, and that will push Buddha into 16th place on the grid. So let's see how Peter does here in the Williams. No, I wouldn't say he was favoured for the pole. What I'd say he's a very good driver in the wet conditions. Now, again, what we've got to bear in mind is obviously that we are in Q1, so the drivers won't be pushing the cars necessarily to their limit, because obviously because of the conditions, they don't want to damage the car, and they want to make sure that they stay in the race. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing to say is just because we're seeing wet weather conditions in the qualifying, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see a wet race. So then you have the issue of the setup, because obviously what I would think most of the drivers, oh dear, I don't think Peter wanted to do that. He definitely didn't want to do that. Now this is what I'm saying, you see, he was pushing the car there. So he was pushing the car, I think it was into turn 15 and 16. So those are two of the turns. 13 and 15 are the slowest turns in this race. But even that said, you're still going just over 100 kilometers per hour on those turns. So this is a fast track. So you know, he did lose it there. It's going to definitely affect his time. There is no time left in the qualification. Buddha has dropped to 16th. As we can see, he's actually been pushed out by Phenomenon. So, and Peter doing a nice little power slide there again. Got caught unaware. So, our top is Mike Ed with a run time of, where are we? 150.9. So, Mike Ed there in the Mercedes is front runner with 150.9. We then have Savage behind him, followed by Gamble, followed by Bass F1, Bo F1. Stoner looks like he may have dropped out, not too sure. We've got Slacky in the Renault in 7th place. Yeah, no, sorry, Slacky has now dropped to 8th place. Anganicki is in 7th place, so Anganicki there in the Force India in 7th place. Swoof in 9th place in the Red Bull. John F1. And sorry, it's John that I should have been talking about with regards to the wet weather capabilities. So John is the man, and Peter's also not too bad at all. So John F1 in the Haas there has taken 10th position. Then we have Grim in 11th, Martin BMW and Toro Rosso in 12th, Slim Shamey in the Williams in 13th, Portma, so Portma is in 14th place, and Portma is driving for Mercedes, so quite a discrepancy there between the Mercedes driver. Okay, so there we have our top 15. Yes, he did. Now that's interesting. He's obviously, well, I think he did pretty well. He certainly qualified. He certainly qualified, which is the important thing. We can see a lot of change here between Q1. Yeah, I mean, as I say, the drivers aren't going to be pushing it to the extreme. So Q2 is going to be the one that's going to be the interesting one. Just trying to see whether he's actually... can't actually see because he's in the... What we need to see is look at the side. Yeah, he is on the intermediates there, green wall tyres. I don't know, it could be because of the setup of the car. So he could just be trying it out, because as I say, just because we've got a wet qualification doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a wet race. So he could just be trying out the setup as it is at this moment in time. Okay, so I think it's a possibility that we may have had a crash. So Wes, I'm just going to put you on hold a second and can let you continue. Hi, Wes. You there? Wes, you need to include your audio on the party because at this moment in time nobody can hear you. So if you go to the, yeah, you have to accept that I'm broadcasting your audio, obviously in the party because I'm broadcasting. Unfortunately, nobody can hear you.
Is this better?
Okay, the best thing to do is if you just carry on talking, put all your settings on, accept my broadcast, and accept your audio. Have you done that?
Yeah, I put the mark on my audio.
Okay, so
I
we
hear
should be able
triple
to hear
now.
you now. Just going to check. Okay,
Whoa.
yeah, we're good. So we are going to be doing a short qualifying. So this next thing we're going to drop. Unfortunately, we're going to have to drop Q2 and Q3. So we're going to do a short qualification. So what does that mean? That means basically that all the drivers are going to be out. They're all going to be trying to do the best time that they can. Be their grid position.
And why is that?
I believe that one of the players was having some issues. He actually dropped out. So rather than mess
All
around, they
right.
just thought they'd quickly go for that. So we're dropping Q2 and Q3. We're going to go for a short quali with the drivers.
Well, exciting. Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute, because we're in the wrong race, my friend. We're going to get sent an invite, obviously. Back to the come down the game is down at this moment in time. You have to bear with us.
Yeah.
Watching us, uh, there's an awful lot of technologies. We are more and more as so what we're looking to do what we're looking to do is looking to get these games and these broadcasts slicker for yourselves who are actually watching. And we are improving certainly on a weekly basis. We are running with dedicated servers, so that obviously supports and gives us a better foundation when we're actually doing the game itself. So effectively a multiplayer game, but with dedicated servers to ensure that we do have that, if you like, content match and also stream match as well. And obviously we've got the speeds as well, because remember, we are connecting effectively 19 people via the Xbox. So and all of those will have different levels of quality of their internet provider. So what we're looking to do with those dedicated servers is to try and even out that a little bit more. So that should certainly help the issue, and certainly during the actual races themselves, we haven't had too much of an issue. So we're just joining the session now. And here we are. So everybody's ready to go. Just to make sure that I stay in spectator mode. So
Yes.
I don't want
And
to be driving on this one yet.
how
Although I have
many
gone out a
minutes
few
are we
times and I
driving?
don't get to those times. So as I was saying,
I'm sorry.
obviously,
How many minutes are they driving? Are they gonna do 10 minutes? Are they gonna do 15 minutes? What are they gonna do?
I'm not too sure. By the time we'll come up with the short qualifying, I think it's normally around about 10 to 15 minutes. I would
Cool.
expect it's probably going to be around about 15. So once they actually get the race going, I would suspect that's probably what it's going to be.
And I'm new. Is the track? Is there a possibility the track is still wet, or do we have another condition, or are the conditions going to be the same?
N- I would suspect the conditions are going to be different, so we could well be seeing dry conditions, which is then obviously going to mix things up a little bit more. So we'll
Well,
see what happens.
I'm secretly rooting for a wet. I love the wet.
Certainly with wet races, it makes for an interesting broadcast. I can certainly say that
Yeah, and
quite
a
safely.
interesting race, maybe a little bit of
Again, it
spectacle.
depends. It depends on the track. It depends on who's actually racing in their positions. We do see very close racing, and certainly through those drivers who have, let's say, somewhat more experience.
Yeah,
We've got some fast drivers: Bass, Bow, Savage, Gamble, Zwoof, Slacky, Stoner. They're all good fast drivers. Then we have the drivers that I would say are the potential unexpected winners. So I would say that they're consistent. They may not necessarily be the fastest, but they are consistent. People like
yeah,
John, Mike, Grim, Buddha, Slim, Portmer. And then obviously you've got slow drivers as well. So there is a range, as you would find obviously in the real world F1. We do have that same range here.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, certainly do have some very, very interesting close racing, without any shadow of a doubt. And there isn't, um, the comp is hard. So it's not easy, and just because these guys are obviously sitting at the end of the console, many of the guys actually have a proper cockpit rig. They are living it. Don't think that it's just that
Well,
simple.
well,
They
did
really do live it.
did you ever try it then, Woods? Did you ever go into the virtual cockpit and drove an F1 car on the TV?
I can't say I have. I've had to go in a few
Well,
setups, but not necessarily a virtual cockpit. Um, but obviously playing the game as well, you get immersed. But certainly when you have that equipment as well, you get even more immersed.
I was the lucky one. I tried it with Zwolf. He has a nice Red Bull seat, and I'm telling you, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Yeah, oh yeah. It looks easy, but it's also difficult.
No, I mean there is undoubtedly skill that is involved, and the driving
Yeah,
skill. As I say, I've
yeah,
driven on the tracks myself. I use a controller, and I wouldn't say that I'm an incapable gaming driver, but they are supremely fast. They
yeah,
really are.
yeah,
So I really do admire them because some of the times normally they put in, I can easily be 7, 8, 10 seconds off their times,
wow.
which may not seem a lot of time, but believe you me,
Yeah,
that is a hell of a lot when you're looking at
yeah, I
cockpit
know.
racing.
Yep,
So yeah, they are undoubtedly very good and skillful drivers. So we're getting ready now, just loading the game up. So we're going to go for a short qualifying session to
exciting.
determine our grid positions for the Sochi Season 3 F1 2017 season with F1 tonight. On. So whether those conditions have been due, and as I thought, yeah, we are in dry conditions. So this really is
We are.
going to make quite a difference to the actual game itself, to the
And
gameplay. Completely
who's
different setup, obviously, for the cars.
who's the favorite for the poll? Who do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I would expect to see the likes of Bow and Bass up there. Equally, people like Portmer, Stoner, these drivers I would expect to see certainly in the top 10. It's, Amble, Savage has said Swoof. Swoof hasn't been having a great time since he's gone on to the Red Bulls. so I'm not too sure what the issue is there. So we've started now with qualification. We're actually running 12 minutes on this, so we're actually down to 11 minutes now.
Yep. And Savage and Stoner are already out, quick, trying to make a fast time. Well,
so let's stay with Savage, because I'd expect a good race there from a good time from Savage. Let's stay with him for now.
yep. And I see almost half the grid is out now. Half the grid is making the decision to maybe go out a little bit later.
Yeah,
Just wait
it's a
and see
difficult
what's
one,
going to
because,
happen.
as I say, it is a one-shot qualifying. Obviously, the guys
Yeah.
have been practicing during the week, so they know the track. They know the sort of times they ought or they should be putting in. So they could just be sitting there waiting to see what happens, waiting for a
Yeah.
gap as well. Because remember, obviously, other cars out on the track
Yeah,
can potentially
it's gonna,
hinder you when you're
It could
going
be a
for
problem.
your fast lap. That said,
Yeah.
obviously, they do advise when everyone's going for their fast lap. They do advise going to be doing so. So really, but it can still cause issues. It can still cause problems. So I think most of the drivers try and avoid that where possible.
well, maybe if you have a good practice week, you make fast time. Maybe you think, well, I'm gonna see what the other guys are doing, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. I'll go out, make a fast time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
possible.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And as I say, obviously with the dry conditions as well, then the guys undoubtedly would have been practicing in dry conditions. I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect them to be practicing in wet conditions. So that's what they're used to. That's what they're happy with. So yeah, I mean we will wait and see at this moment in time. So we are still running with Savage. He was effectively the first runner out, so he should be the first driver to actually set an actual lap time. So as I said, with this circuit, we have,
He's looking good.
18. He is looking good.
Yep.
So we have 18 corners. So what I'm going to try and do during the course of the race is obviously let you know more or less where we are. So it looks like we're in turns 14, 15 and coming into 16. So this is the few sort of right hand turns here to get to the pit straight. Turn 17, turn 18. As we come over the start finish race, we had the DRS activation zone.
And we have the first time,
Time there.
134.595, I think. 1.5.
Yep. So that looks. I mean, again, you can see the difference there between those conditions and the wet conditions.
Oh,
We
unbelievable.
were looking
It's
at
like
150. So you're talking
Yeah.
16 to 17 seconds faster in these dry
that's a
conditions
lot.
per lap. So you can see the difference that it makes. Oh, he's going a little bit off there.
A little
So
bit
let's
slippery.
go with a few other runners. So John's put in a 137. Martin in the Toro Rosso 137. Buddha in a Renault a 137.
Oh, they're close.
So
they're very
they're
close.
quite a bit off that 134 from Savage.
Yeah,
let's go
but,
with Sleuth. Bo. Oh, he's cut the corner there. Lost points
Between
on
the
that,
number
or would
2
have,
and
his
number
time would have
5.
disqualified.
Between number 2 and number
So-
5 is only 7 tenths, 6 tenths.
Whoa! Moving out the way there, Swoof.
Wow, that was close.
That was close. So let's go with Bo at this moment in time. See where he is. So he's coming down the start-finish straight. Bass has put in a
Yeah.
135.6. Bo's just put in a 135.8. So as I say,
Well,
we're
they're
seeing
getting-
these
they're getting
guys
closer.
obviously starting to come through now.
Yeah, well, they have 6 minutes. Nothing lost, nothing gained. It's all open.
I would expect us for Bass and Bo to stay out, because I would expect them to try and be chasing that 134 of Savage. They're not too far away. He's a 134.9. Stoner's on a 135.2. Bass is on a 135.6. Slim on a 135.7. Bo on a 135.8. So they're all less than a second within that top time so far set by Savage. So I would expect those drivers to stay out and see if they can improve on that. So everyone else is pretty much coming in 137. You can see the gap there, although we do have Gamble on a 136 at this moment in time in the McLaren. Everyone else is 137, so these are the guys who we're going to be watching. So let's see if we can get with Savage is happy, he's in the pit. Let's go with Stoner here in the Haas.
Well, a little bit outside the track.
I think he's gone off the track there, so his time will be won't be counted on this lap.
I don't think so.
We've got Bass and Slim Shamey who've gone into the pits, and let's see what the drivers are actually running on. So let's have a look at that. So Bass looks like he's going. Is he going on to super softs, or he's got on super softs? Slim Shamey is going on to super softs. Savage certainly set that time on a super soft. So if Bass was running with with ultra soft, if Bass was running with super softs, it makes sense for him to change tyres. And I think he was. I think Bass was actually put in that time on a super soft. So if he's put that time in on the super softs with the ultra soft, I would expect him to go probably at least couple of seconds thereabouts faster, so he should be able to smash that time of Savage if he goes on to the ultra soft. So I'd suspect that he's probably in the pits at this moment in time, just waiting for the right opportunity to actually come out so that he can set that qualifying time. But we will see.
Yeah, he changed the tyres. He changed the tyres to ultra soft. I think he's going for it.
That might be the case. Yeah, so I'd expect him to come out now and go for that.
Well, we'll still have 4 minutes left. Yeah, maybe he's doing some changes on the car. Maybe a little bit of setup change. I don't think too much.
Could well be. I think he might
far
just be waiting for the time. We're riding with Bo as it stands at this moment in time. So Bo is currently second place. He is running already on the ultra softs.
Well, boss. Well, he's 7/10. Nothing is impossible.
So Bo's come in. I think he's going to probably looking to alter his setup somewhat. He's only got 3 minutes to go. So either his teammates going out now.
There are a lot of people inside the pits right now, so
Bass is now coming out.
Yeah, it's a good moment now to go out.
So Bass is going to be coming out, and I'd expect to see Bass probably 130, either a 133.9 or a 134.2 at least.
Wow. Well, we're going to see. He's putting on the ultra soft, so I think he's going to be quicker than the time he's already made. So.
Well, again, some of the drivers might be putting these tyres on just to get a little bit of wear into them, because these will be the tyres that they will be running with in the actual race itself.
Yep.
So sometimes it's worth putting a few laps down, getting the tyres worn in a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're going to be looking to use them within the race itself. So let's see if Bass can improve on his time. He's just coming round now to the start-finish straight.
Yeah, he's still in his outlap. Well, not for long.
Where is he? Can't quite tell where he is at this moment in time, unfortunately. I think he's just coming around 13, 14.
Yeah, he's near.
There we go, 15.
He's making speed now.
16, that's it. He's got a nice little straight there, coming up to 17. Then a right-hander into turn 18, and then the right-hander into the start-finish straight. Here we are, he's going around turn 18 now. So this should be the one where he's going to go for it. It has to be, he's only got 1 minute 37. So he really has to put it down on this one. If not, he would still have an opportunity to put in another lap after this one. But he will definitely be going for a qualification time on this lap.
And also look at Swoof. He's climbing to 4th with 135.418.
It's great to see Swoof back in the running, because Swoof has, as I say, he hasn't got on too well with Red Bull with that car. So it's good to see him up there.
Yeah,
Certainly.
he's
I'd expect to see him there in that sort of area normally, so it's good to certainly see him there.
yeah. Well, I saw a little bit of
lap
race.
set
It
by
was
Savage so far.
wow.
Let's set another fastest lap. It's done a 134.7, so he took 200
Yep.
a second off his previous time of 134.9. I think he's trying to respond to the fact that Bass has gone out on the ultra softs.
Well, Bus is well. He's standing still in 5th. Zwolf is even faster than Bus. We have Bo
At this
in
moment in time,
2nd.
as I said, at this moment in time, he is still doing his lap. So
Yeah.
he's just coming round turn 16 now, coming up to turn 17.
He almost has to be a
Turn
second,
18.
whole second quicker.
He's in the turn 18 now. He's coming on the start-finish straight. And he's done a 135.1.
Yeah,
So that's moving
climbing
up
to third place.
position.
Nice.
He still has the opportunity to do another lap. So
Yep.
this is going to be interesting. Both
He
Bo
was just
and
in time.
Bass. So let's go
Oh,
with
that-
Bo.
They're so
He's coming around
close.
the back now. So let's see if he can actually beat that qualifying time.
Wow, Stoner is going to 134.766. He crossed the finish. He's done.
Fantastic. That is a great run there by Stoner.
Oh, he was so close to the pole.
Well, there's only, less than, thousandths of a second?
Yeah, thousands. It's nothing.
0.02 of a second in that, between first and second place there.
Yeah, but well, Bus is still driving. It's possible.
Well, Bo's coming out, so Bo will be the first one across the line.
Yeah. Bo's also
So
out.
Bo's
Yep.
just coming round now for turns 13, 14 to 15 and 16. He'll be the first one across the line. Let's see how he's actually doing. So fantastic result there, obviously, from Stoner in the Haas.
Yeah.
For the second position. Stoner's been doing really well. Oh, and no, he's got in. Bo's happy with
Well,
that. He's going into the
He,
pits.
he felt it. He felt it. That was the
Go with
right
Bass
lap.
now. Let's see whether Bass is happy to do the same or whether he's going to go into the pits.
No, he's going for it. No, he's
Here
still
we
got the
are.
speed.
And he's done
still-
it. 134.7.
Wow.
137.29. Savage with a 134.752.
I didn't see that one
literally,
coming.
Yeah, 300. I was I said earlier.
Yeah, you
I
said it.
expected him
You said
to,
it.
Set that sort of time. So
Yeah.
on the ultra softs.
What a
So there we
great
have
final
it.
lap.
There we have it. So we'll wait for confirmation, obviously, of our running order. But at this moment in time, looks like we have Bass F1 in first position in the Ferrari. He's then followed by Savage, and Savage is in the McLaren in second place. Stoner is in third place in the Haas. Bo in the second Ferrari is in fourth place. Zwoof in the Red Bull is in fifth place. Slim Shamy in the Williams is in sixth place. Campbell in the McLaren is in seventh place. Mike Ebb is in the Mercedes. We then have Grim F1 in the second Red Bull in ninth place. Slacky in the Renault. Oh dear! Did you see that smash there? Looks like that was the Toro Rossos there.
There was certainly a Toro Rosso, and it didn't look very nice.
It didn't look good.
No,
there
look.
we have it. Oh, Toro
What
Rosso
happened?
and the Williams. So I'm not too sure what's happened there. Shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully
Oh,
they can get that repaired. Looks like the Williams lost his wheel. So I'm not too sure which one of the Williams
Was that
drivers
after the
was.
flag,
So
or?
just to run through that again, we've got Bass in the Ferrari first, McLaren Savage second, Stoner in the Haas third, Bo in the Ferrari fourth, Zwoof in the Red Bull fifth, Williams with Slim in sixth, Gamble in the McLaren in seventh, Mike Evans in the Mercedes in eighth, Grim in the Red Bull in ninth, Slacky in the Renault in 10th, Anganicki in the Force in 11th, Portmer in the Mercedes in 12th, 13th we have Haas, 14th Peter F1 tonight. I've got to get quicker on that. Doesn't give me enough time. Okay, so here we are. We are getting ready now for the start of the F1 Tonight Season 3 F1 Esports Championship. We are in our 4th race of the season, which is Sochi, and we are looking at dry conditions but cloudy. Could we see some rain? Okay, this is going to be interesting. So as I said, just running through with the drivers this moment in time, then I'll run through the grid. Race start is in 10 seconds. Hopefully we should see a formation lap, but if not, then I'll obviously will know. It's going to be an interesting race. There's going to be a lot to follow, so hopefully we're all sitting comfortably.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, so we're going out for the formation lap. So as I said, we had Peter in BMW in the Toro Rosso in 15th position, Phenomena in the Sauber in 16th, Buddha in the Renault in 17th, he'll be disappointed with that, Miguel F1 in the Toro Rosso in 18th, and Alfa in 87 in the Force India is coming up in 19th. But that said, you know, last week we saw our second place driver actually come up 15 positions.
Okay.
So, he was actually starting in 17th place and finished in 2nd, so it could still be anybody's race.
What was going on with him then?
It was just there was a bit of an issue on the start. We had about 5 or 6 safety cars last week.
All right.
Frustrating. But we didn't have any safety cars from lap 30 on, so it just made for an interesting race. A lot of strategy came in, but it was some fantastic, really close racing. So really good.
Yeah. Yep. I missed that one.
Well, hopefully we won't miss too many more.
No, I'm sticking. You have to stick with me for now.
Okay, so they're getting ready. Coming through turns 13 and 14 now, under the bridge.
Man, yeah, well,
turn 15 and then into turn 16.
If you look back to qualifying, I think it's going to be a very exciting race.
It is going to be a very interesting race. I would expect to see Gamble come up the ranks. He's in 7th position at this moment in time. I'd expect to see Grim move up, Slacky move up. Anganicki's been putting in some fantastic racing as well, so he's doing well. I would expect Buddha to certainly move up, but again, it all depends on you know, the opportunities that he has on overtaking. This isn't necessarily the best of tracks, because it is such a fast street circuit.
Well,
so
maybe
do have the 2 DRS points, obviously, as you're going from turn 10 down to 12. So you've got a long sort of sweep, and then you've got the short straight from 18 to 1, where you do have the DRS activated between turns 2 rather. So here we go. Lights are going as we get ready to start, and they're off. So as they come up now to turn 1, we're already seeing some overtaking here. So come up to turn 1 now. Got the McLaren ahead at this moment in time. Bass coming in behind, Bo coming in behind him. Then we're followed by the Haas. Oh, and as we can see, a few cars going off the track there, but at least they haven't collided. I'd rather see that. Okay, so the McLaren of Savage is already starting to pull away from Vass. We've got the 2 Ferraris very close in behind him, followed by Stoner in the Haas. And just behind them, then obviously we have Zwoof in the Red Bull.
And Grim had a very good start. He went from 9th to 6th.
As I said, obviously, you know, these are the guys that I expect to be coming up. I mean, Zwoof and Grim, as I say, haven't had the greatest of starts to their season in Red Bull, but I would expect them to start moving up now, and we can see them there just in the background. So we've got the 2 Red Bulls in 5th and 6th consecutively. We've got the 2 Ferraris in 2nd and 3rd. They're broken up by Stoner in the Haas, and Savage is in 1st place, obviously, in the McLaren there. It looks like we've got really close. I mean, there's only 400ths of a second, half a second between these first 3-4 drivers, 5 drivers.
You can see it on the screen. It's like a big string of F1 cars, they're very close. They're very close. But
Now,
as you say,
the thing,
overtaking
this is where you've got to
difficult.
be careful.
Yep.
You don't want to lose. You want to close that gap on the guy in
Yeah,
front.
it's early in the
But
race.
at the same
It's early in
time,
the race.
you've got to be aware of his braking zones, and you've got to be aware of the cars that are coming in behind you as well.
Yep. Oh,
So,
he's looking.
Don't expect any love lost between Bass and Bo, although they
No,
are both
no, no.
obviously driving for Ferrari.
You already saw Bo looking.
They will fight. They will compete against each other.
Yeah, I already saw Bo looking. Maybe if there
Bo will
was a
certainly
gap.
be looking for the opportunities.
Yeah, he's closing in.
As I say, he was disappointed last week, unfortunately, because he just didn't finish racing. Went into a barrier, if I remember rightly. I think it was turn 12. Just lost it and went into the barrier. There's some very close racing between these two at this moment in time. Savage is already starting to pull away, so he's got just over a second gap. So DRS will become active once we complete lap 3. So it's important that Savage open up that gap. And there we have Bo moving down the inside there. It's a favourite line for him, going offline, especially when you're coming up to a right-hand turn. And there we go. Yeah, he's taken his
He's
teammate.
got him.
Yeah, he's got it. So Bo is now moved ahead to second place, overtaking his teammate Bass. Now Bass is under pressure from Stoner in the Haas.
Yeah, he's right behind him.
And equally, Stoner is under pressure from Zwoof in the Red Bull there. So we can already see that Bo is starting to pull a gap between himself and Bass, so that's just over a second. Savage is doing fantastically well. He's already got a 2-second gap between those front runners.
Oh, there's an attack
and attack. Now it looks like Zwoof's making a move on the Haas.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Is he going to hold it?
Is he going to hold? Is he going to hold?
Oh, he's outside the track.
Oh, I think it has. Yeah, it has.
Great.
Well, to be fair,
yeah.
You know,
that was
Stoner
nice.
Stoner went well offline there. So he should really have given that place to Zwoof anyway. So we've got Savage in McLaren in first place, Bo, Bass second and third in the Ferrari. Zwoof now has moved up to fourth place in the Red Bull. He's close to by Stoner. Oh, absolutely, Stoner will push. And Zwoof will push as well. So Zwoof is now pushing on Bass. So this is where the race is at the moment in time. Savage has already pulled the 2-second gap. And Bass has already pulled a 1.5-second gap on his teammate. Sorry, Bo's already pulled a 1.5-second gap on Bass's teammate.
Yeah.
But Zwoof now is only half a second behind Bass, and 0.02 of a second behind him is Stoner in the Haas. So we can expect to see the Haas trying to make a move. And here we are now. He's certainly looking to try and get that line as they're coming 13 and 14. Coming up to the left and right now of turns 15 and 16. No real opportunity here. But the Haas there, Stoner is definitely pressing the Red Bull. And equally, Zwoof is applying pressure to Bass in third place there. So these three cars, third, fourth and fifth. But they now have the DRS, so it'll be interesting to see what happens on here.
And also, if we look a little bit down, you have
the difference that DRS is making there. But it gives them the opportunity as well. So Zwoof is really, really closing in now on Bass.
He's getting the exhaust view.
Yeah, well, if he's not careful, he'll be looking very closely at Bass's gearbox, I think.
He has to be patient. It's only round 4.
Not necessarily something that we see in the F1 Tonight Championship. Patience is not always necessarily...
no, if there's a gap, there's a gap, and you have to go for it, yeah.
Play. Oh, look at that Haas!
No, he's not going to hold it.
He was late braking. Zwoof was just... Well, Stoner was just late braking to try and get him on the corner there. And unfortunately just went off the track because he was just too late in the brake zone there.
Yeah, couldn't make it.
So I think they were pretty well set. Let's go down. We've got a little bit of a fight going here. Looks like between Grim and Slim Shady and the Williams.
U.S. Campbell, Big Buddha, they're all within a second. No, Portman doesn't. Portman's on.
So Grim is looking to make a move there on the Slim Shady and the Williams. It's only 200 a second. They're coming turns 13 and 14. coming up to 15 and 16. So it's very, very tight in behind Slim Shady there. Gap has opened up a little bit now.
Yeah, it's going back and forward every time. Then it's 0.2 of a second. Then he's losing a little bit of time.
Gamble's in the McLaren there, right behind the Mercedes of Portmer. So they're coming into the DRS activation. He's certainly got that DRS active there. Coming up to turn 1.
You can see it. You can see it on the screen.
4, where we have that sort of archway where it's a great opportunity. Oh, he's gone slightly off track there. Still 700 a second behind him. But he's certainly closing the gap there. So he's chasing down the Williams. As we run through now to Martin in the Toro Rosso, he's applying pressure to the Force India there of Alfred. Just behind them is the Sauber Phenomenon.
What happened with number 17, Angry Nicky? Did not finish.
He's crashed out.
So
Nicky's not going to be happy with that.
No, we missed it.
North Slacky and John F1. So unfortunately, we didn't see what happened on that.
No.
Maybe we can get them into the chat. Hold on, let's have a look. 3-second time penalty for Bo. I would suspect that's probably for going outside of the racing line or track, effectively. So I suspect that's what's happened there. So he's got a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, we can't see it on the screen.
We added on at the end of the race.
Yeah.
Not too sure what happened with Anganiki, Slacky and John there.
No, but Slacky and John, they are way back.
They're actually out, so those 3 drivers are actually out. So we've got John who's joined the party, so hopefully John will be able to fill in the details as to what happened. John,
but
you're out. What happened?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, that went terribly wrong on the start. I had a particularly quite good start for myself. Unfortunately, Peter in the Williams came up on the back of me, and yeah, he touched my rear front right wheel, and which I collided with the wall on the left side.
Oh,
that's tough luck.
That's disappointing. Was that so? That was in what, turn 1?
No, before turn 1. It was a couple hundred meters after the start, actually.
Oh no, we missed out. Obviously, we were watching the start of the guys at the front, so we missed that action at the back there. So, sure, you're disappointed with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So you were putting in pretty well. I mean, obviously your teammate Stoner is doing a great job in 4th place there at this moment in time, but I was certainly expecting you to be moving up there, and you seem to be settling in now with the Haas. You seem to be a little bit more comfortable with it now.
Yeah, of course. The Haas is a very different car of what I had last season. Then I was driving the Williams. This year the Haas. Yeah, definitely it's a different car, a different setup. But yeah, the feeling is getting there.
Right. Well, you know, sorry to see you out so early, but I hope you can stay with us. And if you want, sort of pass comment on what's happening within the race as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly run through our positions as stand at this moment in time. So we have Savage, who's in 1st place. He's 2 seconds, well, 2.5 seconds ahead of Bo in the Ferrari. His teammate is about another 2.5 seconds behind him, 3 seconds ahead, which is Bass. And Bass is under pressure from Stoner, as I was saying, and really this has been constant pressure from the get-go. Obviously, Zwoof has swap positions. Zwoof did overtake Stoner at one point. Certainly they seem to have a position swap there, so Stoner's actually taken that position back. It's quite an aggressive driver, Stoner, but he really does go for it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on here. John, I guess you're happy to at least see your teammate up there.
John?
Hello. Drink.
Yep.
Yeah, Stoner. Who have we got in now?
Yeah, of course. I've I'm very happy to see my teammate driving up third right now. Of course, I'm not able to get the points out for Haas this time, but yeah, I hope in Spain it will be a different story.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you're fighting at the moment, obviously, Mercedes for that third position in the team standings. You're only 3 points behind them. Mikev, obviously, at this moment in time, and Portma. I mean, Portma's down in 9th position, and where is Mikev? Mikev's in 6th position. So, you know, if Stoner stays there, that will certainly go towards points for you guys for the team competition.
Yeah, there's not a lot of between the teams. Yeah, of course, I'm very close up to the Mercedes pace. I can match the pace of Portma and Michael as well. I know Stoner is a bit quicker. He's more a front driver as I am. But yeah, I think we'll be on top of them at the end of the season.
And while we were talking there, obviously Stoner, as I said, was applying the pressure to Bass and is taking 3rd position from him. So Stoner has now moved up from 4th into 3rd position. And he's already starting to pull away from the Ferrari of Bass. So let's see what tyres these guys are on.
There we have it.
So everyone's on the ultra softs as it stands at this moment in time, apart from Martin and Slim, which are on the super softs. So they're probably going to be looking to put the ultra softs on for their 2nd stint. I'd expect drivers on the ultra soft, we haven't had any safety cars come in, so I'd expect to see them starting to probably come in around about 15, 16. Maybe some might stay out till a little bit later. And we've got Anga Nicky now in from Force India. So Nicky, we heard that there was a bit of an issue on the start. Was that what affected you there?
Ja, nu wel.
I don't know if you want to do a little bit of translating. That might help Nicky a bit there, if you could do that.
Ja,
Wes?
tuurlijk.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm trying to remember.
We're trying to make it easy.
I'm trying. So yeah, Nicky.
What
sorry,
happened?
mate. I do apologise. You're, yeah, definitely one of the better senior speakers. So what happened, mate? Oh God, what turn was that on? Right, okay, so it's probably round about turns 8 and 9 by the looks of it then. Did you hit that before you hit the DRS point, yeah? So that would have been turn 10 then. Ooh, and you said, and you had a lovely reunion with the hoarding then and went straight into that, I take it. Well, it happens, as we know. Unfortunately, it does happen. So it's one of those things. We now have Slacky as well. Looks like he's dropped out. So I don't know what's happened there.
Slacky is out. Peter is also out.
Yeah, Slacky, I think, may have had an issue on track there, which we missed out. So quickly, let's run through this. At this moment in time, we've got certainly some competition here still with the Red Bull. And again, you know, these three drivers, Stoner, Bass and Zwoof, have been changing positions so far, certainly within these first 10 laps. We saw Zwoof moving up, overtaking Bass. Then we saw Zwoof moving up on Stoner, overtaking Stoner. Stoner then taking the position back, overtaking Bass, and now Zwoof's in there as well. So these guys are all very close in behind each other, these three drivers. While we're doing that, obviously Savage in the McLaren is starting to pull out quite a reasonable lead. He's nearly 4 seconds ahead of Bo in second place, and Bo's equally about 4 seconds at this moment ahead of his teammate, ahead of Stoner in third place, and about 5 seconds ahead of his teammate Bass, who's in fourth place. So Bass is starting to put pressure, it looks like, on Stoner here. So let's run with those three guys. They have been applying pressure most of the evening. We've got Buddha in the Renault, who's moved up into 10th position. Looks like he's starting to put pressure on Grim at this moment in time. So Grim in the second Red Bull there.
Grim dropped to 9th.
Yeah. So Grim's dropped down to 9th. Buddha's putting pressure on him. He's only half a second behind him on that. So let's have a quick look at that. There we have Buddha in the Renault. Paying close attention to the gearbox of the Red Bull in front of him.
Yeah, he's closing it.
Straight into turn 1 now.
He's looking
to try and maybe take a move. I think he's too far out.
Well, he's sizing him up.
Really, what he needs to do is hold that position. Probably wait until he gets to the DRS zone, because he's got a good opportunity on the black side.
He's so close. Yeah, he's got him.
Taken him.
He's got him.
He's got him. He's got him. So Buddha's now
moved
on the
inside.
Oh no! But I don't think Grim's going to let him get away with it that easy.
Ooh.
Certainly close on there.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, the Renault of Buddha has moved up into 9th position, overtaking Gamble. Gamble is still only half a second behind him, so there's every opportunity that he could move in on him. So he's certainly zooming down on him. So let's see, Buddha's 1.5 seconds. He's getting closer to Gamble. Gamble's bearing down on Portmer in a Mercedes. And while he's doing that, Portmer's defending, which is giving the Renaults a chance to start moving up, and the Red Bull as well. Oh! McLaren's slightly losing it there through turn 13 and 14. He's so close up there, look at that. To turn 17 now. In turn 18 now, they'll be hitting the DRS detection. He's certainly got it there.
Oh,
is
the
that going to help that
going
McLaren
for it.
to overtake the Mercedes? As they come
He's
into
going
turn
for
1?
it.
Oh, it's not easy on that turn 1. Certainly with sweeping turns 2, 3 and 4 as they come round that sort of archway effectively.
He's too far.
They can build up the speed.
Well, we
Turn
saw
2
another
there,
overtaking
coming
in the same corner.
3, that long sweeping left hand. Trying to get position on him there. He's certainly applying the pressure, but he's sliding a bit on those corners, so he's losing some time there and some traction there. See how Zwoof's getting on. So Zwoof is still looking at the gearbox of that Ferrari in front of him.
Yeah, he's hanging in. He is...
Haas is starting to pull away. Gamble's looks like Gamble's starting to put that pressure again. Still, he's getting closer to Portman there in the Mercedes.
Yeah, he is getting close.
So he's definitely starting to close down that gap. They come through turns 13 and 14. We'll be coming round to the left, right, 15 and 16 now.
Oh, look at the McLaren.
And he is all over the back of that Mercedes.
Yep.
Now Mercedes has an opportunity to start pulling away a little bit on these little straights. What he needs to do is close down this gap now between 17 and 18. You'll be coming into the DRS detection point as they come into the start-finish straight. Coming to turn 1, it will be activated. This is where he wants to try and move up on him. But that Mercedes has got fantastic downforce and straight line speed. Coming to turns 5, 6 now. Going to 7. Certainly closing down the gap. But Portman's managing to hold that position there, that 6th position. Zwoof looks like he's starting to move in on the Ferrari of Bass, although he has dropped a bit, so he's a second behind him now.
He's hanging in within a second. Sometimes a little bit closer,
Definitely
now it's a
Gamble.
little
Gamble
bit farther.
Gamble is definitely keeping that pressure on as they come in now.
Yeah, he's not
Start
letting
finish
go.
straight.
Well, there we see a little bit of a gap. Well, and you see
So
at
it's only
some...
a half-second gap.
Yeah,
Half
it's
second gap, so this could be anyone's.
you can see the difference between the cars. At some part of the tracks, the McLaren is clearly faster. And in
I'd say,
some
yeah,
corners,
we definitely.
the
I mean,
Mercedes is pulling away.
Mercedes is definitely faster on the straight line. Where
Yeah.
the McLaren is winning out is undoubtedly in those corners.
Yeah, and you can
That
see
is
it
where
on the
he's
screen.
catching the McLaren up.
Yeah, oh yeah, Shamey is 0.4 of a second behind L France.
So Shamey there in the Williams. Applying pressure there to Elfren in the Force India.
Yep.
So this is for 12th position.
Oh, he's...
And he
well-
is all over the back of that Force India. Good God.
And there you go. It's difficult to overtake on this circuit. Now you can see
It
why.
is a very fast street circuit and it's easy to hold people up. So Grim, he's got a
Yep.
3-second penalty again from race control, exceeding the track limits. These guys are really pushing. And here we see now he's made a move down. He's making a move on him now, turn 1. Yeah, and it's stuck. So Slim, fantastic job there, taking 12th position from Elfren in the Force
Yep.
India. So Elfren's still only half a second behind him.
Whoa.
But I'd expect to see Slim starting to pull away now. Quickly have a look at Gamble again, see what's happening there.
We can see that Swoof is... Well, he's losing a little bit time. It's now 1.2.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see the gap build up now. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've now got... oh, hang on. Oh, yes, as I thought. So Savage has come into the pits. So I expected, as I said, round about laps 15
Yep.
to 20, we'd start to see the guys coming into pit. So we've just seen our race leader, Savage. He's pitted. So let's go with Savage, see where he comes out. So he's coming out 5th. Should stick with 5th position. Yep, so Savage, who was our race leader, has pitted. He's gone on to his second set of Ultra Softs. So that was lap 15. He's now come out in 5th position. So that's now released the Ferraris of Bo and Bass. So Bo has taken the lead. Let's have a quick look through, run through our drivers. So we've got Bo F1, who's currently in 1st place. He was in 2nd place, but as I said, obviously Savage came in there for the pit stop, so he's come out in 5th. Bo's now taken 1st place. Bass, his teammate, about 5 to 6 seconds behind him in 2nd place. Closely followed by Zwoof in the Red Bull. Great to see the Red Bulls up there. As I said, Zwoof, Red Bulls in general.
He's doing good.
Both, yeah, well, both Zwoof and Grim haven't had a great start to the season. So it's certainly good to see them moving up there and see Zwoof in 3rd place.
Yeah.
He's only a couple of seconds or so behind Bass, and then behind him, 8 seconds behind, is Mike Ebb in the Mercedes. He's closely followed by Savage in the McLaren, who's really been sort of hunting him down. Well, he's actually been hunting down, Portman's being hunted down as well by Gamble, who's
Yeah.
Savage's teammate. So we've got quite an interesting little competition there, but you know, there is quite a reasonable gap there as well. So we can see that Savage is only 300ths of a second behind the Mercedes now. So he's looking to make a move on him. He looks like he's making that move now as they come into the turn. Is he going to stick?
Nice.
Oh, nicely done.
Very
Nicely done.
nice.
So he made it
On the
stick.
outside.
Savage now moved up into 4th place, overtaking Mike Ebb. So we've now got McLaren, followed by both Mercedes. And the Mercedes in 6th position is Portman, and he's being chased down by Gamble. So this has been pretty going on for quite a number of laps now. So we saw a few guys pit there, but not too many.
Well, they still have to...
So,
Swoof has to come in. We have Bas who Yeah, well, he has
Yeah,
to
so
come in
we saw
eventually.
a pit there from Savage, Stoner, Slim, and Miguel.
Yeah.
So everyone else is still out there. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. I'd expect to see Bo, Bass probably come in round about lap 20. They're still out there.
And what happened with the Phenomenon? He is
Well, it
out.
looks like Phenomenon's crashed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phenomenon has indeed crashed out. Unfortunately, we didn't see what happened there. Got Buddha coming into the pits.
On what place was he
Renault.
on before he fell out? What position did he have?
I think he was round about third, 11th, 10th or 11th.
Midfield. Okay. Well, nobody else is out, so maybe it's
so Stoner is
on his own
definitely putting the pressure on Portmer here. I think Stoner's being.
He's go.
Oh, look at this! They come down.
Yeah, he has
yes.
it.
As he make it stick.
Well, no. He's coming back from the inside. He's going around the back.
Yeah, he's made it stick. So Stoner in the Haas now, overtaken Mykeb in the Mercedes. We've now got obviously Mykeb under pressure from Gamble.
That was a nice overtaking.
And we've got the Buddha of the Renault of Buddha coming in closely behind Gamble there as well. So some nice close racing there.
Yeah.
Certainly Gamble is putting that pressure on the Mercedes.
Well, it's going on for a couple of rounds right now.
Yeah. This is what we see. We see a lot of close racing. Generally, there's about 2 or 3 groups, and it's great when you see this close racing. And it shows the skill of the drivers as well. I mean, okay, we see a lot of sliding at times, as there, and certainly this McLaren is quite slippery. But I think that's what gives it a lot of advantage, certainly in the corners.
Yeah, he's maintaining his speed though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you want to drift in an F1 car, an F1 2017, the McLaren's the one to do it with.
Yeah. And he's looking nice.
So they're coming down the start-finish straight here. Now he's got an opportunity here into turn 1 as they come into the DRS zone. He is right up the gearbox there of that Mercedes.
Maybe he can try it on the
turn
end.
1. Then we've got the sort of tricky little turn 2.
Well, no. No, he hasn't got the speed.
Chicane there as they come down now. Follow turn 3. This is a long left-hander, great big arch in the track. I call it the heel of the shoe because if you look at the track, it looks very much like a woman's high-heeled shoe. So this is the insole, effectively, of the shoes. They're coming up to the heel now, turn 4, 5.
All right.
Coming down back of the shoe, so turn 6 and 7.
Well, it's a nice nickname for a corner.
Right-hander there.
We're keeping it.
8s and 9. Coming up to the right-hander of turn 10. So it looks like Buddha's within the DRS zone, and Gamble's within the DRS of Portmer and Mercedes there. They come down now, sort of a long sweeping straight from turn 11 to 12.
Yeah, it's a nice little group.
Starting to apply the pressure there
They're feeling
on Gamble. This is the thing, when you're in this position, it's so difficult because you want to maintain the pressure on the guy in front. So Portmer's looking to maintain the pressure. Sorry, Gamble's looking to maintain the pressure on Portmer, but equally he's under pressure from the Renault Buddha that's coming up behind him. So he's got to a degree, be aware of that and defend that as well. So it does really make it quite interesting. So they're coming into the start-finish now. So first activation point. Coming into the DRS as they come into turn 1. So we've had Grimm overtake Zwoof, Zwoof overtake Grimm, so Grimm's moved up to 9th position, 10th.
And Grimm also has to come in. He didn't go into the pit. Not yet.
But again, it's very much a question of the style of driving. I'll be interested to see when the McLarens come in.
Yeah.
because obviously, as I said, there's a lot of sideways action
Yeah, look, they're sliding
in
and
the
slipping.
McLarens. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. Obviously, we have had Savage already come in, so he came in quite early. So Gamble's been out there quite a while. And while
Yeah.
we've been talking, Savage has actually moved up into 3rd place. So he's only now just under a second, half a second now behind Bass. So let's have a quick look up there.
Well, we'll still
Savage
keep
came
an
out
eye
in 5th
on.
from his pit. Obviously, there's been a few other drivers that have pitted, which has moved him up. Oh,
Yep.
oh, they've had a collision. They've had a collision.
Uh-oh,
Looks
and
like-
it's
Yeah,
that's
looks
not
like
looking
Savage
good.
went, when they were turning, looks like when they were coming into the turn there on the braking zone, and if you remember, it looks like turns 15 and 16, it may be turn 17. The Ferrari obviously went to brake, missed by Savage, and he went straight into the back of him. So Bass is probably going to be looking to pit. Yes, he is. I thought so. So Bass is pitting.
Yep.
Savage has got some severe damage to that front wing. So
Yeah,
let's have a quick
pieces
look on
were on
here.
the track.
He's got some really bad damage. So he's going to have to pit as well. The question is when is he going to pit? He's going to be kicking himself. And does it look like rain? Yes, it does. I was wondering why Bass had gone on to
Yep.
intermediates, and
Oh,
I said
yeah,
at the
I
start of
see
the
it.
race it was cloudy. We
Drops
might
on
see
the
some
screen.
rain. And
Oh, another
dear.
crash. That's
Miguel
the
F1.
Toro Rosso.
Miguel F1 has crashed into the barriers there, so
Oh, safety
he's out
car.
of the race.
That's going to be a safety car.
Yeah, I expect it will be,
Yeah,
because
Car
obviously
was-
he is on the track there.
yeah, it's
So
on the
this is
middle
going
of
to
the
start.
track.
This is going to now make it interesting.
Yep, it's
Bass
closing the
has gone
field
out
now.
on the intermediates. He went in early on those intermediates. Obviously, as soon as he had that collision, so in a way, that collision with Savage has
Could mean-
actually
Yeah,
done him a favour.
yeah, could be an advantage. How strange
Yeah, it's
it
actually
sounds.
done him
Yep,
a favour.
yep, yeah. He put on the
Just goes to show
intermediates.
you just don't know what's going to happen.
No,
And you know these guys now out here on the ultra softs. Track is like ice to these guys.
yeah. I
So
told you, rain's going to
everybody's
make
be
it
coming
interesting.
Into pit.
Yeah,
Everybody's going to be coming into pit. Now the next question is, do you, if you're on a super soft, do you risk it? Do you stay out and hope that it's just a quick shower? Because if
Well-
you're on those super softs, you stand a chance of still getting through.
then you have to make a call to the weather guys or women, because they know if it's going to rain, it's going to temp, it's going to wind minutes. But yeah, well, I
The
can
weather
tell.
people. You need to speak to the weather people.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, so this is really going to make it interesting now.
It's going to
Now,
make
we've
it,
got
yeah.
a number of drivers that are still staying out, and I think they're staying out on the basis that hopefully it's just a quick shower.
I don't think
And
it's
they can
going to be a
maintain their
quick shower though.
positions.
No, I don't think it's going to be a quick shower. I think it's going to keep raining, and I think it's maybe even going
Everyone's-
to rain harder.
Everybody's starting to pit now. We've had quite a
Yeah.
few drivers drop out.
They're not trusting the weather.
I think we've had some collisions here because we've got Portmer and looks like Buddha out in
Yeah.
a Renault,
I
and as I say, looks like Portmer as well in the Mercedes is out.
Yep. Was it a rain accident
Saw
or? I think so.
I don't know because we don't have a DNF. Let's have a look. Are they still out on track? No, they're not.
I mean, they say it. They don't say it did not finish. Did not. No. But
They're just not there.
as the look of it,
So I don't know if that was a connection issue or whether it was a race issue. We'll soon find out.
yep.
Okay, so everyone's gone out on intermediates. The only ones that aren't on intermediates at this moment in time are our first to third position. They're all coming in now. So Bo's coming in. He's got Savage right on his tail there. And Zwoof is the only one that's still out.
Why?
And I would suspect that we're going to see Zwoof coming into the pits now.
He has to. Yeah. Or maybe he knows something we don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he's got the better weatherman.
Zwoof is coming in. Yeah, I thought he would.
Yep.
So everybody's now on
trusting it either.
intermediates. So Everyone's on intermediates. Now the interesting was that Bo and Savage both came in at the same time, so they've actually maintained their positions. So Bo is coming out in first position. Savage in the look at that McLaren there, fantastic. Savage in McLaren there coming out in second. Well, we have Stoner in the Haas in third position. Bass in the Ferrari in fourth position. Mikeb in the Mercedes, fifth position. Zwoof in the Red Bull, sixth. Martin in the Toro Rosso in seventh. Slim in the Williams is in eighth. Grim in the Red Bull in ninth. Campbell in the pits at this moment in time. And Elfren in the Force India is in 11th position. So it looks like we've been joined one of the drivers. Ah, Buddha, our Renault driver. What happened?
I wasn't paying attention. Got a new strategy from Jeff, and then was trying to mess around with my tires. Unfortunately, somehow spun. And Gamble was behind that, and I couldn't make a hard right to avoid the car. So I was under the risk there because my tires were getting slippery.
Yeah, it was certainly. I said at the start of the race that we had cloud, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some rain. And sure enough, here we are. You missed a great incident. Unfortunately, Savage went into the rear of Bass as they were coming into turn 17, forcing Bass to pit. But as Bass pitted is when it actually was starting to rain, and it gave him the opportunity to actually put the intermediates on. So that was a negative that turned into a positive.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, he was driving intermediates already. So we were surprised because we were doing quite well on the ultra softs, but they were getting a bit wear on those tires. So it was time to pit somewhere between those and about 5 laps. And well, unfortunately, it couldn't be done tonight.
Yeah, it was just one of those racing incidents. Obviously, the change of weather conditions, it does make a lot of difference, especially if you're running on ultra softs on the street circuit such as this, because as soon as that water hits the track, it's like ice.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we have fun, so good luck to all the other drivers.
Well, as I say, at this moment in time, we have Bo, who's in first place. He's got Savage bearing down on him, about 5 seconds behind him. Another 7 seconds behind that is Stoner in the Haas. Then we have Bass in the Ferrari, followed by Mikeb in the Mercedes, Zwoof in the Red Bull there, Martin in the Toro Rosso, Slim Shamy in the Williams in 8th position, Grim in the second Red Bull in 9th position, Gamble in 10th position in the second McLaren there, and Elfren in the Force India in 11th position. So at this moment in time, well, we've got a bit of a gap between the drivers. Obviously the wet conditions has opened up, and also the pit stops. So let's see how potentially this might affect the championship at this moment in time. So if we were to go with the points that we've got, Bo would obviously gain the full 25 points, which would put him up on 50 points. That would then put him into second place in the competition. Bass, being in 4th place, would pick up 20 points. So that would effectively put him on 78. So a race in hand effectively over his teammate. Slim, who's in 4th position at this moment in time, sorry, in 8th position. Obviously, if he were to finish there, then we'd be looking at 15 points. So that would give him 39. So that would actually make him equal with yourself, Buddha. So you'd be tied with slim for third place
Oh well.
in the competition.
You know, we'll see. You can't win
It
them all.
certainly has
and
given. Oh yeah, and absolutely. I mean, we're only on race 4 of season 3, so there's still a lot of races to be done.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate that both the Renaults have come out of this race, but it still gives you the opportunity for future races, certainly, without any doubt on that. So it's going to be making it interesting. It's I think Ferrari are pretty much going to start to consolidate their position. McLaren is going to be the interesting one, because obviously Savage has a great opportunity of getting some points there, which he needs, because he hasn't got any points as it stands at this moment in time. And his teammate Gamble is currently on 22 points, so he would move up to probably around about 32 points.
All right, I'm gonna sign off. You guys have a good race.
Okay,
Well,
mate, no worries. Well, listen, if you want to jump in, come in at any time, obviously more than welcome to, yeah?
Yeah. Bye bye.
All right, well,
Bye.
good racing.
See you next week.
Go and have a nice beer.
Yeah, thanks. Bye bye.
Okay, guys, so here we are, back again. So we've got Bo at this moment in time in first position. He's our race leader. He's followed by Savage, about 4 seconds behind him in the McLaren in second position. Then have Stoner in the Haas in third position. He's running about 16 seconds behind our race lead. Then we have Bass in second Ferrari. He's running about 20 odd seconds behind his teammate Bo in first place. So Bass is in fourth place. Maikev in fifth place in the Mercedes. Then we have Zwoof in the Red Bull in sixth. Martin and Toros in seventh. Shane in the Williams in eighth. Grim in the second Red Bull in ninth. Followed by Gamble in the second McLaren in 10th, and Elfrin in the Force India following up in 11th place. So, as I say, pretty much an open race at this moment. Open from the point of view that no real sort of challenges going on at this moment in time. Bo pretty much consolidating, obviously, his lead. Now, the question is this rain going to last? It looks to me as if it's starting to get a little bit brighter. So it's very possible that we might see this rain stop within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That being the case, then that would take us up to around about lap 30. So again, now obviously this does give an advantage. Oh, we got a position change here. What's going on?
Savage is in the pit.
Oh, Savage is pitted.
I don't know what happened. He's in the pit.
Yeah. Oh, it could be a time penalty, could be a drive-through. Looks like a drive-through.
Yeah. Well, it's
So it's
losing
a
him a
drive-through
couple of
penalty.
places.
What he's decided to do is actually take that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, well,
He's had a drive-through penalty, so Savage has now dropped down into sixth position. Zwoof's obviously moved up into fifth. Maikev
Yes.
up to fourth in the Mercedes. Bass is now in third position. He's still only 5 seconds behind Stoner. So Stoner has moved up into second position there.
and
So was there a collision? Would there
I
been a
don't know.
collision? Because Stoner's moved up into second position. He's overtaken Bass. Oh, he was ahead of Bass anyway, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Savage had dropped
no,
out.
there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So Bo is certainly consolidating his lead there. He's got a 15-second lead on the second place. So that really does give him a fantastic opportunity.
Well, with the rain, everything is possible. He has to pay attention. Don't lose slack.
The thing is, it's quite light rain, so we're not going to see them going on to wet, certainly intermediates. As I said, I mean, it looks to me as if it's starting to brighten up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see the rain stopping. Said probably in the next, as we're coming up to what would have been potentially the second race window. Obviously, the intermediates has mixed that up somewhat.
Yep.
So if we're on intermediates and it stays like this, probably see them coming in around about laps 40.
I think
So let's see what happens.
when the rain stops, well, it doesn't take a whole lot of rounds to dry the track up. I think it's going to be in a couple
Well, again,
of
you
rounds.
know, it's the question of what do you call to go out. Whatever they go out on could potentially be to finish the race.
Yep.
So the question is, do you risk, if it does dry out, do you risk going out on your ultra softs, or do you go out on super softs? Now, interestingly enough, we've got a little bit of a graphic issue here, because I'm watching my Keb, and if you look closely at that Mercedes, he's got the purple wall tyres, which are the ultra softs.
Yeah, you're right. He is taking the gamble.
Well, I don't think he is actually running on ultra softs. I think it is actually an issue with the graphics, because on the information it's showing him running
that's
with
more
the
likely.
intermediates, and certainly
That's
from
more
the,
likely.
From the grip that I'm looking at, it looks to me like they are intermediates. So that's one for Codemasters to note.
And if you see on one side on the track, it's clearing up. You can clearly see the blue sky.
Yeah,
On the other side of the
we'll
track,
start to see-
it's still dark. It's still dark on the other side of the
what
track.
we're seeing there, is the racing line. So what happens is, as the cars go over and they consistently follow the same line, what they're doing is they're throwing the water off that line on the track.
Yeah.
And then the darker areas are the areas where the drivers would normally drive onto, which are the wetter areas. Now, what you will see is if it starts to dry out too much, and as I said, the rain's starting to subside, which I think it is, because obviously that would indicate that we're not seeing as much rain.
No.
If it stays like this, then obviously, if it stays like this, potentially you might want to go onto super softs, because that racing line is
Eventually.
dry.
Yeah.
If it stops raining completely, you'll definitely want to be coming in. But as I said, it's a question of what do you go on to? If you go on to, if you were to pick, say, lap 35, you've got 18 laps to go. Do you go with the super softs on a track that might get damp again a little, or do you go with the ultra softs, or do you go with super softs?
I'm going to interrupt you because Savage overtook Zwolf.
Savage has just overtaken Zwolf.
He's going.
So the McLaren's made the move
it.
there on the Red Bull, and Red Bull's fighting back.
Well, he's
not
hanging
having
on.
that. Zwolf is not happy with that.
No,
definitely not. So Zwolf is now chasing down the McLaren of Savage. Not happy to have been overtaken there by Savage.
No, yeah, well, Savage got the time penalty, but now he's slowly getting in there. But still,
he's moving up. Obviously, he was in second place, dropped down to fifth.
He now has to make up 12
seconds.
I think that's a lot.
He did it previously. He came out when he did the pit change. He came out in fifth place. So he is certainly capable of doing it.
And with the whole story that it's, look, on this part of the track, you can clearly see it's clearing up. It's a little bit brighter. The sky is brighter.
These guys are. Oh, well, they're coming in now.
They're going in. Yeah, they're going in together. Are they going for it then? Yeah. Stone to put on the super softs.
Yeah, we're starting to see.
Super
Stone has gone out on the super softs. So
that's the first
one.
one.
You know, how do you call it? So Stone is going out on the super softs.
Yeah, Zwolf too. Well, everybody is going.
Savage and Zwolf. So everyone's going out on the super softs. So what these guys are going to be looking to do, potentially, is if the track conditions stay like this and if it dries up, this could well be the last pit that they're doing.
I think they are. Well, look, Martijn is putting on the ultra softs. He's the only one who's putting on the ultra softs now.
So Martin in the Toro Rosso is taking a big gamble. It's worth the gamble. He's in 7th position. If it does dry up, and it doesn't rain anymore, then he's making a good call, in my opinion, on that basis. But it still does leave him with, let's look at that, 24 laps to do, 25 laps on the ultra softs.
It's a long way for the ultra softs. It's possible. I think it's a long way.
It's possible. I think, Martin is a pretty consistent driver. He doesn't really put too much pressure on his tyre. So I think if anyone can do it, I think he's got the potential to do it. And we could well see if it does that, we might see him move up 5 or 6 positions.
Yeah, well, we're gonna keep an eye on his time.
Let's go with the front runners. So our front runners are still on the intermediates. Now they're starting to come in now. Yep. So Bass has come in. Bo is still out. So Bo's decided to go for another lap on the intermediates. Make sure he's got that gap, because he's got a 23-second gap at this moment in time. So potentially, if he stays out there, and we've got Zwoof with a 5-second penalty, stop-go for exceeding the track limits.
That's too bad.
So he's got a stop-go that he's going to have to come in for. He's going to be pretty pissed off with it. Oh, excuse me. He's going to be pretty annoyed with that.
Bass is putting on the soft tyre, the yellow one.
Okay, so Bass is looking to go to the end of the race.
Yeah.
I didn't realise we had the softs available, but Bass is definitely looking to go to the end of the race on these softs.
I think he could make it with the super soft though.
It'll be interesting to see. Another time penalty there for Elfrin. So multiple warnings. He's got a 3-second time penalty, Elfrin. I would say again, obviously that's exceeding track limits.
Yeah,
okay, so we've had some pits.
Way behind.
Let's have a look now.
Oh, look at Savage.
Both should be coming in now.
Look at Savage. He's
Savage
putting on the pressure on Michael.
Yep, so Bo's come into the pits. Oh, let's have a look at this.
Yeah. Look, you can see him. He can almost smell the exhaust.
Oh, absolutely. You can feel the heat off the exhaust on that one.
Oh,
dear.
He's crashing.
He's gone into the... No, Mike loses it on the track. Smashes into the left-hand side. Damages his front wing there.
It's still
He's going to have to be coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's lost his downforce. He's smashed his wing, his front wing, so he's losing downforce in a big way.
That's a warning for all drivers. It's still slippery.
Yeah, he just lost it there.
Yeah,
it just
was on the straight.
Slipped out of him.
Yeah,
he was touched
the wall.
Coming round turn 10, 11. I think that's where he lost it, and he just slid slightly, and he just went straight into the barrier. He was lucky to maintain it, and we can see the same problem there for the Zwoof in the Red Bull. He had the same issue there on that corner, so he's not coming in. It's crazy. He needs to come in because he needs to get that damage repaired. He's now opening up the opening himself up for attack. I mean, okay, Zwoof is still 3 seconds behind him.
Yep.
I think he should have come in on that one. I think he's called that wrong. Bass obviously in 3rd place now. He's 11 seconds behind 2nd place Stoner, so he's about 12 seconds behind race leader.
Stoner is putting on the pressure on Bo.
Well, yeah, 500ths of a second. Bo's on the ultra softs, so he's going to be feeling that that dampness in the track still. So he's going to be a little bit slippery. Stoner, obviously on the super softs there, it's probably got a little bit more traction. So he's applying the pressure. See what happens. I mean, again, this is very difficult to call, because if this track dries up fast, if this track dries up fast, then you know, Bo's made the right call.
Well, as the look of it, I think, yeah, well, Stoner is faster.
Stoner's definitely applying the pressure to him. I think Bo's defending without, you know, he's definitely defending.
Yeah, but he's doing a great job on defending.
Oh, absolutely.
He didn't leave a gap or nothing. No, Stoner's struggling. Well, he's going for it now. Is he? No. That was the looks of it.
He's trying to. That's always interesting. Bo always,
look at Bo. Look at Bo.
Oh, and they collided.
Don't touch it.
Yes, they've hit. It is wheel to wheel.
Ooh.
So it's wheel to wheel. They haven't had any damage, I think, happened to any of their wings.
Anything fly off. But that was really close. That was almost the end of both.
Yeah. I think a few inches further forward or backward, it could have been. They could have been looking at damage, but they were lucky there. It was wheel to wheel action there.
And you see
I
that
say lucky, obviously,
Stoner,
it does obviously put pressure on the tyres, but
yeah, Stoner is leaving a gap now. He's, I think, yeah, maybe it fried him a little bit.
easing off a bit.
Yeah.
He's easing off a little bit. I think he's waiting for his opportunity.
Well,
I mean, this is obviously just helping our first place Bo to stick to that dry line, because that's what he's looking to do. And I think what Stoner's aware of is, okay, I haven't quite got it yet, but Stoner's only got a limited window that he can overtake this Ferrari. Because if this track continues to dry up, those ultra softs are only going to get faster. So he's really probably, if the conditions stay as they are, he's probably only really got a window of about 3 or 4 laps to move in on the Ferrari of Bo.
The gap is getting bigger now. He's over the second now. Yeah. But still, if the chance is there to overtake, you have to remember it's still wet. So it's very
going to be
dangerous
on
to
those
overtake
turns
now.
7, 8, and 9. It's going to have it there. So we've got 3rd place is Bass, 4th place is Savage in the McLaren, so he's moving up. Swoof in 5th place, Slim in 6th in the Williams. Martin in the Toro Rosso is maintaining 7th place. Rim, he's in 8th place. Maikev in the Mercedes, 2nd Mercedes there is in 9th place. Gamble in 2nd McLaren is in 10th place. Nelfrin staying on in there in the Force India. So certainly worth staying in there for the points, if nothing else.
Yep.
So Bo is starting to open up that gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's more than a little bit now. It's 800ths of a second, so nearly a second gap now between Stoner and Bo. Really, what Stoner wants to try and do is 2 seconds. 2 seconds gap now.
He found the speed now. It's drying up, and now you can see the ultra softs are faster.
Bo and the ultra softs there is starting to take full advantage of this track drying up.
Yeah, but
Stoner,
still,
obviously on the super softs.
He has to go for 20 laps on the ultra soft, so it's interesting to see on.
Oh, hang on.
Well,
got Savage moving in on Bass here, so he's really putting the pressure on him here.
Oh,
yep, he is all over the exhaust and the gearbox of that Ferrari there.
But still,
and they're coming up to turn 18 now. Start finish straight. This is where he's got the DRS activation. He'll then have DRS into turn 1. So here they come. Oh, look at this. He's going alongside him here.
Yeah,
he's
on the outside. They're touching. No.
Yes, and he's made it stick.
Nice.
There's wheel-to-wheel contact there, but Savage has overtaken Bass for 3rd place there.
Nothing broken.
Fantastic move there.
But still,
got him lined up in the DRS point.
He's not safe yet.
Took him on took him on turn 2. So fantastic. Now remember, Savage is running on the super softs and Bass is on the soft, so Bass isn't going to have the same amount of traction on these dry sections. So to be honest, I don't see Bass closing up that gap unless Stoner makes some sort of mistake. In fact, I would expect to start seeing that gap open up progressively.
Yeah, you're right. It's already. No, well, it's stable.
Yeah. I think he's in a pretty safe position there, as long as he doesn't decide to kiss any of the barriers or slide too much. Because this is the thing again that I said earlier with the McLaren. It does tend to drift on the corners, and if he goes a little bit too far off that line, there's still enough dampness on that track to throw him, so he still needs to take it easy, at least for the next 3 or 4 laps.
And also Martijn is pushing at Slim Shady.
Martin's starting to apply pressure. Toro Rosso here, we spoke earlier when he came in, he put the ultra softs on, so he's now putting the pressure on Slim on the super softs.
Yeah, he's going a little bit outside the track.
He's got the DRS. He's going to be hitting that DRS point now. As they come into turn 2, that's where he's going to be looking to try and take. This is what
Look, he's closing in.
So Stoner did earlier. Sorry, Savage did on Bass. He couldn't quite close it down enough. He couldn't quite get the angle on there. But he's definitely going to keep the pressure on, as I say, because he's got the faster tyres.
Yeah. Oh, he's
He's looking
trying.
to get a look in there.
Yeah.
He's looking to get a look in there.
He has to be patient, waiting for the gap.
I think he needs to hit that second DRS point. They're coming up to it now.
Don't try to push on the corners you can't overtake.
So here we go. Yeah. So he's moving in on him there now. We've got disqualified from session. Oh no, so Swooper's been disqualified for multiple penalties.
Oh, he won't be happy with that.
I don't think he will be.
So you mean he had too many time penalties, or?
Too many, it's probably too many penalties for exceeding track limits, because that's predominantly what tends to happen. Because what we apply here with the championship is the strict regulations, which means that you cannot have 4 wheels outside the track limits. You can have 2 wheels. I think you can have 3 wheels. So that would be an interesting one to see. But if you exceed with all 4 wheels, then you get a time penalty, and if you exceed the amount of time penalties which you can have, then you stand to be disqualified, and unfortunately that's what happened in that situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. Well,
So Slim's still under pressure from Martin in the Toro Rosso. Martin not giving up, he's maintaining that pressure, he's maintaining that gap. We've seen a half-second gap, sometimes slightly less, sometimes slightly more, certainly for the last 2 or 3 laps with these guys.
yeah, he's hanging in
he's
there.
keeping the pressure up. The Williams is a good car, so it's got that advantage. It's got the disadvantage that it's obviously running with the super softs at this moment in time, and the Toro Rosso is running with the ultra soft. So it's an interesting mix of car and tyre,
Yeah,
which is really giving us quite a close competition here.
Well, I want to see what happens in a couple of rounds when the ultra softs are, well, getting a little bit worn down, and
We've still got 16 laps to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest with you, I think Bo will be okay. I don't see Bo coming in because he's maintained the lead. He's pretty much been able to set his line. He's not been under pressure, so he hasn't had to push the car too much or guard on corners. So I would expect to see Bo stick with these until the end. Stoner, pretty much the same. I don't expect to see him in, certainly not with the super softs. Savage, possibly, because although he is on the super softs, so that McLaren does tend to slide quite a lot around corners, so that obviously adds to the wear of the tyre. So he might have to come in. Bass, I think, is pretty much safe on the softs.
Yeah, he won't come in.
Then again, we are saying this on the basis that the track stays dry.
Well, yeah, you got a point there. Yep, we thought
we've already seen rain, so there is every possibility that we might see rain again.
Yeah, it's still a little bit cloudy on the track.
Yeah, I mean we've had the clouds certainly for the whole of the race. So there's always been that danger there. We have had some rain for about 8 to 10 laps. So there's still that potential there. And everybody is running on dry tyres. So again, those that are called super soft, and certainly Bass that's called soft, might be looking at a possibility of a little bit more rain before the end of the race. Not sufficient to put them onto intermediates.
No, but
we will see.
Yeah. And you see that, well, Martijn is not giving up. He's still looking
he's
for.
still
No,
there.
he's still looking
It's
for
only
a gap.
600 a second. It's only 700 a second behind him. He's been 700s, 500s, 300s. So, you know, really, this is very, very close racing.
And I think, well, eventually the ultra softs are gonna wear down. So I think the super softs, I think that's the right choice for the moment. I think they're gonna be quicker in the end of the race. So
I think, yeah, as I say,
Martijn
I
has to
think
do it. Well, he has to do it quickly, I think.
Martijn, I think he's got a possibility of going all the way because he's quite a smooth driver. But obviously, he's not so smooth at the moment because he's looking to put pressure onto Slim.
Yep.
So he's putting that extra wear into those tyres.
Exactly. So he has to do it in, I think, in now and 5 rounds, or else the tires are going to wear
Ease
down.
off.
And
He's
Yep.
going to need to make a decision as to whether he keeps trying to take Slim or he decides to ease off.
yeah, I think, well, he's
He's
hanging
going
on.
to go for it now.
Yep.
He is going to go for it now.
It only
Definitely.
takes one mistake.
Let's watch
or
this now. Turn 2. Yeah.
No, you're well,
See,
great
Slim
defending.
shutting the door on him there.
Yeah, great defending. But still, one mistake. He has to pay attention to his driving now. He can't let it slide right now. Because Martijn is on his tail.
Oh, Martin going off track there. He needs to be careful of that. That's cost him at least 200-300ths of a second, if not more.
Yep.
Still behind there though, so these ultra softs are definitely giving him the grip to be fighting against it. Slim shame he's got a 3-second penalty, exceeding track limits. So Slim's going to have to be careful now because he doesn't want to get in the same position that Zwoof was in, get disqualified.
Oh, look,
is he
look.
taking him on there? Look
Yeah,
at this,
he's going
turn
for
14.
it.
He
Oh,
went
well,
for it.
Great
backed
defending.
off.
Great defend. Well, he's still in. He's still in.
He's still there. Turn
But
15, 16.
that was great defending from Slim. He blocked him straight
Turn
off.
17 now. And 18.
Oh, that was a possibility.
So he's within the DRS activation. DRS is open now.
Look at the speed. Well, no.
Now, that's it. He needs to try and take him on these corners. This is where he stands the best chance. And they're coming into turns 5, 6 and 7.
Yeah, and well, the track is almost
Then we've got 8 and
completely
9.
dry.
Well, they slow right down here. So this is another part of the track where turn 8 and 13 are the slowest corners. You're down to about just over 100 kilometres, 115 kilometres an hour. Crazy when we're talking about this. I mean, it's me saying the slowest corner is about 115 kilometers an hour.
I was thinking it. With my car,
Yeah.
100 kilometers an hour in the corner. Well, I don't think he's going to make it. No.
No, I can't say that mine would either.
No.
Even with the traction control. So,
Well,
Martin is definitely. Oh, look at this!
Yeah.
This is where he had him last time. And that
He
turn
tried it again.
13, which is that
Oh.
again. You know, I said that was the slowest turn, so that's where he was looking to take him. Use the advantage of that extra grip that he's got on those ultra softs, but Slim is defending very, very well indeed.
yeah.
He's making that Williams as wide as the track.
Oh, well,
and
he's
got off
going
there.
outside the track now.
Now this could cost him. That could cost him. It's given Martin an opportunity to really close that gap. They're coming to the DRS zone. He's just gone over it now. You can see
Yeah.
Martin positioning himself already.
Well,
Slim is going to need
nice
to come
view.
across him.
That's a nice
and he's
view.
done it. He's done it.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
he's got him.
Fantastic.
Nice camera view. No, well,
Slim's
no, it's
coming
still a
back.
struggle.
Slim's
He's
coming
coming back.
Slim's coming back as they come round now.
Well,
on
on
this
the inside,
long turn
no.
4.
A little bit outside the
Slim's
track.
taking him back on more or less on turn 3
He's
and 4.
going
They're
for
coming
it
to turn
again.
5,
He's
but
going for it.
Martin's got the line. Martin's got the line as they come into turn 6 and 7 there.
Well,
So Martin has I think
finally,
he's pretty much sealed the deal. Martin sealed the deal on that one.
Well, now I see if he's able to to get a little bit of gap.
Now this is the thing. This is when your adrenaline's pumping, and this is when you have to pay attention because you cannot afford to make a mistake now.
Nope.
This is total concentration now from Martin to make sure that he hits his apexes, gets his braking zones. Forget about Slim. Just go for the fastest lap you can. That's what he's got to do. He doesn't want to be looking in those mirrors too much because that's going to make him twitchy.
Yeah, but still, Slim is gonna make it difficult for Martijn. He can still see Slim in the mirror, and he's close.
Fantastic fight here between these two drivers.
Yeah. Well, you can see the Williams is
So
getting
he's
a little
coming
bit
over there.
slippery.
He has got DRS. He does have the DRS. So Martin needs to make sure that he's got this line. This is the critical corner here now.
He's still not giving up, though. He's still not giving up.
And they're coming around turn 3. Now this is where Slim's going to get an opportunity to try and pick up some speed. But he needs to get that angle on that turn 4, and I don't think
He's got
it.
great speed. Look,
No, he
he's
hasn't.
got great speed.
Look at this. Yeah.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah,
he's
he's
still under
going.
pressure.
Next corner, he's going for it. If he's close enough, he's going for it. But
Now this is where they slow. Oh, that's it. Nice. Now he's got DRS now coming up.
yeah, you can see that Slim is falling a little bit behind now.
I think he's just within the DRS there. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he's within a couple of. Well,
So they've
yeah,
got the
he's
DRS
in.
activation now.
Yeah, he's in.
They're coming down turn 12. They've got a sharp right hand at 13. Right hand at 14 under the bridge. Little kink left. Then the turn left 15, right of 16. And that short little straight leading up to turn 17. The entrance there. Then turn 18 and on the start finish straight. Slim, yeah, he's within the DRS. There's a real battle going on here between these two guys.
They're not giving each other an inch, and nobody's able to make a gap. No, they're like glue. They're sticking together. Well, there
he's taking the inside.
No,
He's
outside
gone
the
over the track. No,
outside the track.
and he didn't make it stick. Now there was contact with the tyres there. Slim has fallen back, and he's given the place back. Martin's fallen back and given the place to Slim.
Yeah, and I think Martin. Yeah, well, look, he's falling back now.
I don't know if I would have called it that way, to be honest with you, because I'm not sure if the error was from Martin there. I think the error was. Then again, Martin was coming on the inside, on the corner. Well, Slim was trying to overtake him, so I don't think Martin needed to give that position up. To be honest with you, I think he was okay.
Yeah, well, I think maybe he was afraid. Maybe he was afraid to make a hit or something. Well, either way, he's. I hope he's coming back. It was a good fight, though.
Well, I think it was a great fight. I think Martin's played it more than fair, but now he's under pressure from Raikkonen in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
So he's now got, because of that issue, he's now got the Mercedes all over the back of his gearbox there, breathing in his exhaust fumes.
He's going from one fight to another fight now.
Now let's see. So Raikkonen's on the ultra softs as well. So I'll be brutally honest with you. I would expect to see this Mercedes overtaking this Toro Rosso very soon.
Well, yeah, on the straights.
We've got somebody coming out of the pit lane there, so that's going to be interesting. So we've got one of the, looks like Anganicki. He's actually ahead of these two. Oh no, it was the Red Bull.
Well, I missed that. No,
Yeah, because we've had somebody come in and out
yeah,
of the pits
there he
there.
goes now, just looking.
Yeah, he's looking to make a move on him.
Well, he's looking anxious
So Martin's
to
really under
overtake.
pressure here.
The Mercedes, well, it's not only a fast car, it looks really fast.
Yeah. They, you know, Mykeb and Portman, they haven't done as well as I think they would like to be doing in the Mercedes for this season 3 so far. So,
Yep.
and he's made the move on him.
Yeah, he's going.
Oh,
no,
no.
There was a little bit of touching
there, contact.
Yep.
There was contact, but I don't think there was any damage to any of the wings there.
No, it was a legal overtake. No.
So, Mykeb's made the move on Martin. Martin's obviously looking to fight back, but I don't know. I think we're going to start seeing this Mercedes pull away now. Now we've got Slim, who's now coming into the eye line of Mykeb. We've got Martin behind. So okay, this is going to start getting interesting. Then we have
it's a pack.
And the Haas of Stoner in front. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Seems to have a bit of these guys must be a lap behind because Stone's in 4th place, shows him 23 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, we are. No, that's okay. No, we're good. No, we're good.
We are.
So the Haas of Stoner is soon to be coming under pressure from the Williams of Slim, who's very closely followed by the Mercedes of Mykeb and the Toro Rosso of Martin, although Martin's starting to drop back now. Yeah, Martin's starting to drop back now. So now we're seeing Mykeb in the Mercedes looking to move in, and we've got Martin's got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
Well,
So,
it's going to cost him a couple of places.
Well, if it sticks to the end, yeah, definitely. So we've got Slim starting to come under pressure now from Mykeb in the Mercedes. We've only got 7 laps to go now. As we thought, Bo still out. Savage still in 2nd place. Bass in 3rd place.
They're safe.
Stoner in the Haas is currently in 4th place. We're seeing a real battle here for 5th, 6th and 7th as we've seen for the past few laps now.
Yeah, that's not, those places are not quite set yet.
No, I don't think so.
No.
We still got, as I said, we still got 7 laps to go. So the way this Mercedes is going here with Mykeb, I would expect him to be making a move very, very soon on Slim, probably within the next couple of laps.
Yeah, look
Now, by the looks of it, my God, he's right behind him. Look at this.
He is fast. And also the car looks
right. All over him there. Lovely. Look at this. He's going to take that position very soon.
Going a little bit outside now.
Where are we on the track? Let me have a look. I think we're coming up to turn 17. No, we're up to turn 13. Okay, so 13, under the bridge 14, round 15.
Oh,
left.
Yeah.
Slim's definitely defending there. He's gone on the dirty side of the track.
Well, there he goes.
He's going to make a move on him now. It's turn 17.
Oh, no, he closed the door.
Oh. Look at this, Stoner's just set the
Not
fastest
this
lap.
time. Nice for Stoner. Good job.
So Stoner on the Ultrasoft just set the fastest lap. don't think it's going to make too much of a difference, unfortunately, because he's just too far behind third place
Yeah.
Bass. 19 seconds. He'll probably close the gap down, maybe to 12. But we're seeing the battle here between the Williams and the Mercedes. The Mercedes of Mike Ebb moving up through, taking advantage of an issue or an overtaking incident between Slim in the Williams and Martin in the Toro Rosso. Gave him the opportunity to overtake the Toro Rosso of Martin and move up on the Williams of Slim. So you can clearly see that this Mercedes
So
has got
close.
by far the fastest speed. There's no two ways about it. It's the straight.
Oh,
And he's got
there
damage to
was
his wing there.
collision.
Yeah, he's clipped. He's clipped
Oh.
the offside. Clipped the
That
offside
was not
wing
clever.
on the back
Penalty.
wheel of the Williams there of Slim Shamey. I don't think it'll affect his. It will obviously affect his downforce, but I don't think it's going to affect it too much or enough to make him want to pit.
Well, there are only 5 rounds left, so I think if he...
This is
if
the
he's-
other thing that we missed and I hadn't pointed out is that obviously Slim is on the super softs and Mercedes is on the ultra softs. So he's definitely got the advantage on the tyre, but now he's got that wing damage. Is that going to affect his downforce enough to prevent him moving up any closer and indeed taking that place from Slim, taking that 5th position?
No, for the looks of it, it doesn't seem to bother him that much of a deal. He's still, well, he's still where he was for a couple of rounds. He's still hanging in, still getting closer. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be bothering him that much. No.
He's certainly got the opportunity to move up on him.
Yeah, and the other guys are, yeah, they have big gap in front and in the back, and well, the fight is for the, well, for the 5th and the 6th
The
place.
fight here is definitely for this 5th position.
Yeah.
Without any,
The rest of them are, well, they're not that far away, but still 2.5 seconds, as you know, is a lot in the F1. And the fight is for the 5th and the 6th.
Definitely, I think that's definitely made a difference to him. That wing damage that he's got. So I would have expected him to have been overtaking this Williams. So he has got damage, but he can't. It's too late for him to come in now. They've only got 4 laps to go, so he's got to stick with it. Hope that Slim makes a big enough error to allow him to actually get through the gap. Really are pushing it, and this is really pressure. I mean, to maintain that concenration when you're racing is tough enough as it is when you're looking at 53 laps, 57 laps. In this case, it is 53. But when you're also trying to apply the pressure and overtake the guy in front, you're going to be pretty tired now. We've got 3 laps to go. Sitting at this moment in time with the fights going on with the Mercedes in 6th place of Mike Ebb and the 5th place Williams of Slim Shamey.
Yeah, and as you can see, Mike, well, he's getting a little bit behind, further behind
He's starting to drop
Slim.
back. He's starting to drop back, as I
starting
say.
to drop back a little.
I think he's just going to say, okay, look, if I can take him, I will. I've got my safe position. He still does have the Toro Rosso of Martin behind him, but
that's what I'm
it's
trying
not-
to say.
it's
Yeah.
not that- he's not so close. I think that he's going to pose a threat. So let's quickly run through our drivers now. We're on lap 50 of 53, so 3 laps to go. We're running with the race leader at this moment in time, Bo F1 in the Ferrari. He's got an 8-second lead over second place. Sorry, 8-second lead over second place Savage in the McLaren. Savage has done a fantastic race. He's done very well this evening. Maintained his position effectively on there. In fact, yeah, he has got a position. He's dropped down to 5th a couple of times when he's had to pit, and he's had some other issues with time penalties, etc. But he's come back up into second place. Behind him, we have the second Ferrari of Bass in third place there. So he's running around about 24 seconds behind his teammate in first place. He's followed by Stoner in the Haas. He's running in fourth place, so he's running about 13 seconds behind third place Bass. Fifth place we have Slim Shamey in the Williams, closely followed by Nikeb in the Mercedes, who's then closely followed by Martin in the Toro Rosso. Coming up 8th place we have Grim in the Red Bull. He's under pressure now from Gamble in the second McLaren. So let's keep an eye on this. So this is for 8th position. Elfren there in the Force India is coming up last place at this moment in time on 10th position. So yeah, Gamble's certainly applying the pressure here to Grim. They are both running on super softs. So I think, if I remember rightly, Grim may have the newer set of super softs. They're coming up to the DRS point now, turn 1, the activation. Right up behind each other there.
Yeah, he only has to
certainly
laps
looking to
left.
make a move on this turn 2.
He has to make it quickly though. Well, yeah, he's going for it.
Yep,
He's got him.
he's making the move. They're sweeping round this turn 3, this
On
long
the
arch now.
inside.
The speed just builds up. So the McLaren there showing at cornering speed that it has, but this straight line speed is what lets it down. And this is where the Red Bull has the advantage. So don't be surprised if we see Grim move up on Gamble as we come up to turn 10.
Yeah. Well, he don't have a lot of time left. It's all no. It's a
They're
round.
on 13 now. 13. Oh, sorry, that's 10. Here we go. DRS.
Oh, and a
It's got
3
the
second
DRS on
time
the McLaren.
penalty. 3 second time penalty for Slim.
So that's going to make a difference to Slim. It's a 3 second time penalty.
Yep.
That could see him move down to. He's already got another 3 seconds. So he's actually got 6 seconds.
Well, I
So
think
that could see him drop down to 9th position.
Yep.
Again, you know, when we see these guys come over the line, that position may alter due to time penalties during the race. So we are now on lap 52. We are seeing a fight here between Gamble and Grim, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to our race leader. And we'll keep a close eye on that fight there for 8th position between Grim and Gamble. If need be, we'll cut back to that.
Yep.
So we now have our race leader started lap 53.
Final lap.
We get back to this fight here between the Red Bull and the McLaren. 8th position.
Grim has less
So
than
these
a round
positions
left.
will alter, and so we could be potentially looking at 7th position actually. So they're certainly fighting it out there. Down to 14. Turns 15, 16. Let's get back to the race leader, see if we can catch him now as he's coming down the back of the track. So he's coming up turn 12. into turn 13. Under the bridge there for turn 14. The left right at 15 and 16. Nice and easy there. He's a happy man coming up to last but one turn, turn 17. Comes into turn 18 now, start finish straight, and for the race.
There he is.
Bo F1 for the Ferrari wins this evening. Now have Savage in the McLaren coming in second place.
Yep.
Bass just coming now through the back corners. He's coming up to turn 17 now. Bass
Also,
in the second Ferrari now, coming in for third place. We have Stoner now coming round to turn 18 for Haas. Fantastic show there. He comes in fourth place. So Ferrari very happy on the podium. Equally, I'm sure that Savage is going to be very happy to broken up that Ferrari duo. As the Williams now of Slim Shamy comes round turn 18 into the start finish straight to take fifth position. Do expect Slim to unfortunately drop down a few positions because he has, as far as my calculations, I think 6 second time penalty.
Yep. At least.
But so there we have it. The conclusion of our F1 Tonight Season 3 4th GP race at Sochi. We've had an interesting race. We had wet qualifying, which then we had some issues. We had to do a one-shot qualifying, which was in the dry. We then went to the actual race itself. It was quite cloudy. Expectations of rain, and indeed we did get rain. Around about the mid-20s, late 20s laps into the early 30s. So about 10 laps, we saw drivers in intermediates. Then when it started to dry up, they were switching to softs, super softs, ultra softs, everyone playing the game, trying to see who could go into the end. In the end, it was obviously called by Ferrari. So there we have that fantastic podium there with Bo taking first place position. He did have some time penalties there. Savage, second place. Bass, third place. Stoner for the Haas in fourth. Gamble for the McLaren in fifth. Mykeb for the Mercedes in sixth. Martin for the Toro Rosso in seventh. Rim for Red Bull in 8th. Slim Shamy did drop down to 9th, unfortunately, for Williams. Then we have the other drivers that come in there, DNFs. Those are our top drivers for this race. I hope you've enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it, Wes?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was an exciting race. It was my first time, so well, yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but well, I don't think it went that bad.
No, I think we did very well, and I'm sure that everyone watching has enjoyed it as well. I hope you have.
I hope so.
Do
Yeah.
drop your comments. Please do go on to the F1 Tonight YouTube site. We will be posting this race to the site. It may
Yep.
not be tomorrow. We may have some issues that we need to resolve tomorrow. But hopefully over the weekend we will be posting that to YouTube. You should be able to watch it on my stream, Woodscorp, on... oh my God, what are we on? Mixer.
Mixer.
And F1 Tonight on Twitch. So if you have the
Yes.
Woodscorp channel on Mixer, you should be able to watch this race again. If you look for F1 Tonight on Twitch and F1 Tonight on YouTube, and any comments, please do pass them on. And if you want to subscribe, please, we're more than happy for you to do so. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you same time again next week for race 5. And where are we going to be racing next week? That's the question.
Well, you know that better than me.
Which one?
Spain.
Catalunya, Circuito de Catalunya.
Arriba,
So
arriba.
Circuit de Catalunya, which is the favourite test track for obviously F1, where they are in the real world actually been running all the sims and getting the cars ready for the start of the season, which
Testing
we are all
paradise.
looking forward to. So I will sign off now. So this is Woodscorp signing off. Wes, do you want to sign
Yes,
off?
I will sign off. Well, see you all next week then.
Indeed. I hope you had a great. See you soon. Thank you very much. For, hope you much.